I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have two meeting minutes to approve. One is for July 6th. Do I have a motion?
Movement.
Second vote?
Yeah.
Yes. Also, need a motion for July 18th minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Second vote?
Yes.
Yes. Public comment period. Assistant Fire Chief.
Stand here? Or do I stand?
You can stand where-
Stand here?
Wherever you're most comfortable.
Yeah.
My name is Jen Cochran. I'm the I am one of the assistant chiefs. My position is new. It's a position of EMS and community risk reduction. So some of that involves creating a new protocol and working with the crews to make sure that they get continuing education and that they're prepared for the run. Another piece of that is follow-up from the hospitals and working with the local hospitals to make sure we have a good relationship. Another piece of community risk reduction would be getting more people trained in CPR. I just finished my ELS instructor course on Friday, so I'm good to go. Perry Township and specifically Worthington Hills and Brookside Estates has reached out about hands-only CPR. So we've purchased 20 of these really cool mannequins. I'm gonna put this down so I stop playing with it. They almost look like they're disposable, but they're multi-use and you don't have to, because of COVID, right? We need to make sure we're not putting our mouth on anything. So hands-only CPR is more desirable for people. It's less scary too. You're gonna just push hard and push fast. And so it takes about 30 minutes to run somebody through a class like this. You don't get a CPR card for it, but you do know how to do it. So the idea is that wherever you are, whether you're in Perry Township or Worthington or Sheridan Township or even Dublin, if you're going to be close to somebody who knows CPR, and so your chance of survivability is higher. I'm also working with the other assistant chief to get AEDs installed in different places. I noticed you guys had an AED here. Good, I like it. So some of our cruisers have them. So the cruisers have them, but we really want like the public to also have that training. So that's a focus that's going to be coming this year and next year, and it's going to just continue. So I'm looking for places to teach this class. It'll kind of be like a flash mob where we drop the mannequins down. Who wants to learn how to do CPR? The mannequins flick so you know that you're pushing hard enough. And then we just coach them through push hard and push fast. They don't have to give respirations. They don't have to breathe into the patient. And that's why it's more desirable. So by the time we get there, we have blood circulating. And so the pump is primed and we have something to work with. Other opportunities that I've been working with Bristol at the bottom of Worthington Hills and some of the other extended care facilities to make sure that they have fire extinguisher training. I work directly with our lieutenant who's in charge of investigations and God forbid there's a fire, investigating that for arson and such, as well as prevention. So lots of different things that I'm in charge of. I'm trying to make my way around to everything and then make my way back around again. Did you have any questions? Thank you for inviting me out.
Well, you're welcome anytime, first of all. I think Beth may have put it on your calendar for August the 19th. Does that sound right? You go do a tour of the businesses down on Bethel.
LEPD.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in Saco and some other, yeah.
How many businesses?
I think 3 now. It's just a meet and greet. Just kind of, so they know who you are and who Vito is. And things like that.
You didn't see her response.
I did not.
I can't repeat it.
Oh,
Allegedly.
you know, he's a lot worse when the road superintendent and Mary are here.
This is good behavior.
That's pretty good.
The iron is.
What are you guys doing with the elementary schools? I mean, I'm assuming you're getting in there and doing work once they're back to school.
Yeah, actually, we have some training in the books for the school nurses in Worthington schools. Is that what you're
Yeah.
asking?
Yeah,
We also, many of the different schools, a lot of their staff needs CPR. So we're getting in there to start doing that. If this, we can't do all of the schools, some of the ones that are in Columbus,
yeah,
we can't do that. Taxpayer money.
right.
So as many people as we can possibly reach, but we prioritize the schools and then some events.
That's great.
Is there any,
Oh, stop the bleed. Worthington High School, actually, I just learned this. I need to tour the high school again, but they have 5-gallon buckets, and inside the 5-gallon buckets, they have the tourniquets and all the equipment that they need. The nurses actually went through that with me when they came to visit. So, yeah, stop the bleed is a big push, and if there are schools that don't have it, let me know so that we can see if we can get them kits. They actually make these really cool kits. The 5-gallon bucket is a great idea, but they make one that goes on the wall, and it goes right next to your AED. And if you open it and an alarm goes off, it doesn't go anywhere, but the kids don't know that, right? It's supposed to keep them out of there so that they're only using it when they need to. But it has 8 tourniquets in it. It has some gauze, it has gloves, it has a good amount of things in it. And there are some programs out there that will provide a grant, so you don't even have to pay for it. And if you put one in each school and you train the employees on how to use it, it could potentially save a lot of lives. Because if we can't get in there right away, at least the teachers can do something.
is this what we have?
Well, we do. I mean, each one of our cards has a stop the bleed kit as well for something, but I don't think any of our schools do.
I thought Kilbourne got it, but I know that's on the city of Columbus
Yeah.
side, so the other high school is
Worthington
Worthington
Schools.
schools.
I don't
No,
think
the elementary.
Yeah.
The new principal. We need to get.
It was
Yes,
okay.
so she would like to do a first responders day at some point with the fire.
That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything we can do for you?
No, it's been a really warm reception. I appreciate all of you, and I'm gonna enjoy working with everybody.
Are you from Columbus originally, or?
I grew up in Worthington.
Oh, did you?
I went
Okay.
to St. Michael's Elementary, and then I went to Thomas Worthington, but it was just Worthington. Once you get that, you can figure out how old I am. And then I moved to Powell, just down the street, when I got married.
Awesome. Well, welcome
Thank you.
back, I guess.
I know we had to talk about participation in neighborhood events, so, and I was on that call about Brookside.
You're having an event in October, right?
Yes, most likely October, we just don't have a firm date yet, so as soon as I have firm information, I will share that.
You're interested in the hands-on CPR?
Yeah, I think that would be a good fit for that.
Okay, great. We have 20 mannequins,
Wonderful.
but I would need like one person for every 5 mannequins to help teach people
Okay.
to make it manageable.
Okay.
And then any other events you can think of. So as far out as Christmas or spring, if we could schedule that ahead of time, that would be great.
Sign me up, I got the, you can do that, right?
You wanna help?
Yeah, I'll do.
Right.
I would never.
Well, and we do have a date, I can't think of it off the top of my head, we have a date for our Christmas event, our holiday event, so I can send you that too.
Maybe we can brainstorm on what would be helpful
Okay,
at that event.
sounds good,
Okay.
thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
I have you on my computer.
Oh, that's better. Everything's on there.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Franklin County,
I don't really have a lot of mine basically is just what chief know, a little know right now. Net care is gonna be dwindling down even more than there, they'll be able to divert even more. I don't know if you guys actually take people to net care, but I got emails from our major today, the major patrol. Second CID,
Okay.
lab 2, and then possibly a sergeant for crossing your fingers, but no word on when you're gonna be. But I don't really have any tips or anything this week, so I just wanted to
No tips.
share my handsome face. I mean, I'll give you a heads up, or I'll let you know that my daughter's recreation softball team, we won the championship.
Very nice.
So, actually, thanks all. Did a fantastic job this year. He was really awesome. So probably the smartest of the team. Might be. Other than that, I don't really have one from the shirts. We made it through the fair, so.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Good.
All right.
Was it 90 degrees almost every day?
I only worked security Monday night and Wednesday night, and it wasn't that bad. I try not to hang out there during the day. I think there's a lot of brass usually there, so if I can get away from that, that's good. The less the sheriff knows my name, the better. Whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, so. But yeah, so do you guys have anything for me?
I don't think so.
I'm just gonna sit and enjoy tonight, so I only have one, it's soccer practice, so it's bath night for the 2-year-old too, so.
Trying to avoid that.
Maybe.
We can play this back.
My wife probably.
It's called blackmail.
She doesn't mean more fair.
That's all right, we can email it to her. All right, thanks.
I'll go home.
Brookside.
We had our movie night this last Saturday night. And a good time was had by all. That's the first time we've done that. It worked out well, given the weather, break from the previous week's heat, and it was a nice evening.
Worthington Hills.
Oh, I'm sorry, Worthington Hills. Their meeting is on the 10th, which is the same night as the literally dog and pony show. And you okay, Beth?
Yeah, sorry, I'll mute.
You're good. And I don't think there's anything major going on. I know they want to do an October event. They haven't really settled on the details of that, but we should hear something pretty quick.
Epcot and Ravella.
Tomorrow night, we're set to do the National Neighbors Night Out. We're all down there, shaking hands, kissing babies, answering questions and all that good stuff. So good group. We had a good time last year. Hope they have the what was it? The sausage, the Bahama Mamas.
No, Schmidt sausage.
Sausage, yes. Don't tell. K9 here.
I get cream puff.
Yeah, I'm gonna say cream puff.
Yeah. We shared the last one.
I think that's that's it.
Zoning. Under zoning, Joe and I met with Max at Brookside, and they are looking to put up nets for balls along the practice range, along the one side of that. They have partial fencing that covers a portion of it, but they want to add it to the other. They'll be submitting a variance for that. So balls in their court. We just kind of got an overview of what they're looking to do and what they want to do. So
And there's the distance in terms of notification to residents. Is it from the building or is it from where that fence would be? So will those residents get notified?
that's a great question, because we had this with Worthington Hill. I think it's from the boundary. And it's a boundary,
Is
so
it?
it's like,
So those folks would,
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, definitely,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
The people that will be affected on it will definitely be.
Andy, it's from the property line, so
thanks,
Yeah,
Beth.
a lot of properties.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it, under zoning development director. Joe had a meeting and he wasn't sure if he could be here at 6:30, so I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to hold off on the development director to see where we're at around 6:30. And then he can update on that, and then we're gonna go over the Mount Carmel in executive session. So next is road department.
I was hoping to have a report to talk about on the stormwater the Worthington Hills drainage projects. We did not receive anything back from Sands Decker or any word from Jim Ramsey if he had heard anything. I don't know if you had heard anything, Andy.
I have not.
Uh, so I
Well,
really don't know what's going on there.
You. Is there any way you can email them? See what they-
Yeah, I'll send them an email right now.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. And then the only other item I had is our generator that powers the buildings. We've been having some issues with it. I had them out doing the routine maintenance on it here about a month ago. And they noticed the oil cooler is leaking on it. I just got the quote in. That's why it's not in your guys's Dropbox. I can have Beth approve it. I just wanted to let you know this is somewhere around a 1992 Perkins generator. It's been every Wednesday morning, it runs its cycle, giving us an overcrank warning. We thought the service took care of that. I don't know if it has something to do with this oil cooler, but I just want to make you guys aware of it as we're, looking into the facilities. But the oil cooler repair, they're wanting $4,190 to replace the oil cooler and lines on that.
Are you getting bids on that, Ian? Or is this something we
This is under our contract with, we have a maintenance contract with Williams, Detroit Williams. I am not aware of another company that handles this generator locally.
okay?
And this is under the 5,000 that Beth can handle, right?
It is, yes. I just wanted to make everybody aware that,
Okay.
that's all I have on the
Hey,
agenda. What's that?
Ian, the culvert on Banbury. Have you been in touch with the resident about that patchwork and the asphalt?
I have. I would like to sit down and talk to you about that.
Okay. And speed monitors, I think I talked to you at some point about those speed monitors, one being on Clarkstone, but the other one that moving it
Millbrae.
then from Millbrae. Yeah.
Millbrae. Yeah, I was gonna move it. I was gonna move it to Larkstone this week. And then right before school starts, move it over to Millbrae.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Ian?
That's all I have.
Fire and EMS.
Nothing at this time.
All right, police department.
First thing with Detective Mills here, I don't know if you all saw the copy of the contract with Secret Service. Secret Service has approached us and what they're doing is putting a task force together for financial crimes. And they're reaching out to all the police agencies and long story short, correct me if any of this is wrong. If they run into a case where they need 5 detectives, they send a notice out, hey, we need help. And if Charlie's available, whoever's available, they go. The contract's 3 years, and they also will provide training and equipment for forensic downloading of cell phones and computers and some other things. After 3 years, the equipment remains ours. But on the Secret Service side, it's only financial crimes, but the equipment can be used for any type of crime. So if we have a rape, robbery, homicide, missing, whatever, kidnapping, we can use the same equipment to do whatever we need as well. It will be ours to use. And then after 3 years, they kind of turn it over to us to keep at that point. So, so the most I would be asking is to authorize me to sign the contract with Secret Service. And if you have any questions about it, that's why I asked Detective Mills to be here, because he can answer the questions about the Secret Service side.
What's the downside?
We haven't found one yet. The other thing is if we have something and just say we have a case of our own of something going on. Charlie has access to the Secret Service office downtown to use their offices, interview rooms, property storage, anything we can possibly think of. We sign a contract, we have that agreement with them to use their facilities if we need it.
There's
So
no financial commitment. All right.
no, there is no financial commitment. And they reimburse us for his time. So if he's called to go work,
If I exceed a certain amount.
yeah, if he exceeds a certain amount of time, they'll reimburse. But it's basically like a mutual aid agreement,
So it's for financial crimes?
yes.
Yeah,
Like
cyber fraud.
what, like what type of a situation would we be involved in under that?
Well, that's the thing. When I'm working on it, I would technically be working under the federal umbrella. So
Yeah.
technically Perry Township wouldn't be involved, but they do a lot with the corporate fraud, financial fraud, international, transnational criminal organizations, the human trafficking, all that kind of stuff. That's Secret Service looks at a lot of the cyber side of that, those types of crimes.
There's also one thing I throw out, if there's a seizure of any kind, whether it comes from their end or ours, if it's our end, we keep it. If there's a seizure on their side that Charlie's involved in, we get a percent, I think it's 25%, I think, whatever the seizure is.
Wow,
So, yeah,
that could be big.
yeah, so I think you never know what it could be,
So
so.
we're actually possibly looking at a seizure already. with Homeland Security investigations.
Yes,
We went, I don't know if you're familiar, a couple of weeks ago, a pilot flew in from Canada, decided he didn't want to go through customs, so he evaded customs and landed in Lancaster. So we got a call from Homeland Security Investigations for this.
Yeah.
So he got the call, I answered the phone.
That's why he keeps you around.
Yeah, right.
Something.
if he had thumbs, he'd drop it. Just saying.
So yeah, so we went down, stiffed the plane, and the bomb dog didn't alert, but the drug dog did, so my report was significantly shorter than this. So the thing with the Homeland Security or Secret Service is, most other federal task forces, it basically you sign up, say you're going to the FBI task force, it's like, hey, welcome aboard. Your agency's gonna keep paying you and we'll see you in 3 years, and you never see them again. Secret Service kind of went the other way. They said, well, if we get 20 guys on this task force and let them stay at home and work on their own cases and just, give us a hand when we need it. So in addition to the cyber and financial, we would also utilize him when we had a VIP visitor or a national security event in the area. And then, like I said, they would possibly call for us to assist with the federal investigations as well. But like the chief says, the equipment is ours, the training is free. And not just free, it's funded. I mean, they didn't fly me down, they'll put me up in a hotel, the whole deal. And then that equipment is not only just for us to use, it's a regional. We can put the word out to everyone, hey, we can now do computer, forensics.
Mhm.
So you bring us your stuff, we do it. Check a box on the federal website, hey, we did this, and that's more money for the program and more task forces. And more training. So
Yeah, I just wanted to add that we talked at length with the local FBI coordinator for this. And as Steve said, we're not able to find a downside to this. I mean, Charlie gets to pick and choose what training he would like. It can be anywhere from a few hours to whatever, a couple weeks. They pay for everything, and the benefit comes back to the township because Charlie has that specialized training. I think it really is going to be a great program all the way around. I did want to mention though, if for some reason the FBI called him up and said, hey, Charlie, we need your help, and Charlie has 6 cases that he's already working on, he is not, he doesn't have to say yes. He has the option of saying, guys, I'm too busy right now, but next time you have something pop up, give me a call and I'll help. So it's just listening through the whole process and procedures and what's available to the township. And Charlie certainly knows his stuff already and can handle himself quite nicely, but to have additional training and it not be at the township's cost is in itself, I think, pretty a phenomenal deal. So.
We also have the option if he's called to the task force and we have something happen here, we can call him back as well and say we need it back. And also sent the MOU to Pete Briggs for him to look at. He saw.
Yeah, I talked to the chief today about it. I'm like, Chet's question is, why would we not do this?
Yeah.
I couldn't see any downside on it, so.
Yeah, don't say
I
it.
think it's got a little feather in our cap, obviously, so.
It's another step to the self-sufficiency. I mean, it really is to have that kind of equipment, and after X amount of years, it becomes ours. That's just a kind of one of those things that, again, kind of like feather in your cap, and now we don't have to send it out. We can do most of all forensic downloads ourselves.
Yeah, so we're getting results overnight as opposed to 6 months.
Yeah.
Waiting for BCI to come back.
So,
This road.
I make a motion that we approve the request between Perry Township and the Secret Service to authorize Chief Cicero to execute the agreement.
Okay.
Vote,
Yes.
yes.
thank you. Thank you, Senior Chief. We were notified that the annual police car order will be happening sometime in the next 10 days. Don't know when exactly, but they have not released the what they call spec order sheets yet for 2023. But we talked to Jermaine Ford today, who said, yes, they're coming in the next 10 days. So my request tonight is to authorize two purchase order numbers to place the order for the cars for next year. So
You want separate purchase orders.
I don't know. I think we can do one, but I don't know if it's easier to do two separate. Miss Beth, is it easier to do one or two?
It's typically, well, you do one purchase order for the cars, both of them, and then one for any equipment that you need.
Oh, perfect.
So you don't need a separate one for each car. You
No,
need
just one for both cars. And I don't have trade-in values yet. It's too far away. He said, as we get closer, he said he can give us a rough idea now, probably the next week or two. But again, we don't know exactly. He said we're probably 10 months away from getting these cars.
So this gets us in line.
Correct.
Because
This
if we
whole
don't get
spot.
in line,
Yeah,
we
they're only
get cars.
taking 12,000 orders. So once we have the purchase orders, it's kind of interesting. They need my driver's license with a purchase order number to hold both cars. And once that's done, and that's what Jermaine said, is the ordering, he will just send it immediately. So that's why he's asking for, he said, just give me your driver's license and a purchase order number. And he says, that'll get us in line. Once they hit 12,000. So it's kind of
So
crazy.
do you need a motion from us just to authorize you to do that?
Yes, for the purchase orders, yes. Or for a purchase order for the
So
cars.
you authorize, I would move to authorize the chief to enter into two purchase orders for two police cars for next year.
second.
Vote,
Yes.
yes.
Thank you. And then the compensation comparison, are we doing?
We'll go into executive. Madam Administrator.
Let's see. Okay, not muted, so that's a good thing. All right, well, depending on your perspective, I suppose. So the 161 in Linworth improvements, I have not heard of any further updates. Have you, Chad? No, I don't believe we have any updates on facilities at this point, correct? That's still on hold. I know that Luke had told you all last meeting that we were looking at entering into an agreement with Civic Plus to do a refresh. There was a one-time refresh of our website, or we could sign up and lock in price where it being once every 5 years. I'm afraid I was a little out of commission with my COVID, so I will hopefully have that ready to go for you at our next meeting for final approval. And that is all I have.
So Beth, do we need to pass a resolution, authorize Andy to sign the opioid settlement agreement?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Hey, hold on. Hey,
All right.
Luke, can you send Jim Smiley the connection. He said he's still there with the link. He's, yeah, sorry.
So I'm not, Beth, do you mind if I step in a little bit on the opioid agreement?
No, that's fine.
So I'm not sure if the board was following these emails and dialogues that were going back and forth. There was some confusion in terms of what came out first. And an example is for Perry, we were listed. And then we were not on the other document that listed what our settlement would be. So there was a clarification email, and if you didn't see that, I've got it. I can send that out to you if you'd like. There was a clarification sent, and then as part of that, this exhibit K that's in your box, that is a subdivision settlement participation form that we would request approval to enter into, so that we can participate.
So what's so did that clarification email talk about, what money and then what we're allowed to use it for and all, I mean, more specifically?
It did,
Okay.
and I will tell you, I honestly forgot we were gonna have this on the agenda tonight. So I did not bring that with me.
Is this something that has to be approved tonight?
I don't.
Because they talk about acting through underside, or they say, has reviewed the.
Well, it says it's within 14 days of the reference date, which is July 21st, so
Well, we're past that.
no, in 14 days of July 21st.
Oh, it's July 21st.
So we're not
That's
past.
28th. So we gotta
We
gotta
do have
do
to
it
sign
tonight.
it now.
Do it tonight.
But I'll tell, I mean, it's effectively, you either participate in this or you don't accept the monies and you don't, I mean, it's,
Okay.
I can provide more detail at the next meeting, or Beth can, and we both can.
Yeah,
But it's kind of there's not another option.
All right.
You either do this or
Or
you
you
don't
don't.
collect.
what, do you recall ballpark what the money that was?
It was a small amount.
It was a small amount.
It was a small, I think it was 18,000. Beth and I were on a call this morning with the county, where the purpose of the call was to argue our township representation upon the regional board, which, long story short, well, anyway, the point is that all the townships are being encouraged to sign this form, to get in line, basically, and get whatever monies there is. Perry Township is not a example township of one that deals with this issue quite often. Franklin, Clinton, Madison are great poster childs for this. That's why I'm going to appoint the Clinton fire chief to be on that board. But the issue is that every township's encouraged to get in line to get the resources that they may need, whether it's, for education or equipment is allowed or whatever.
You're not
So,
getting a helicopter.
Okay.
But I mean, to your point, in terms of education, that's likely the best way is to try to, educate the community and the schools like that.
Okay, all right. I will make the motion to,
tell you what, I'll make.
all right, you make it.
I move to give the chairman of the board authorization to sign the settlement participation form exhibit A of the opioid settlement agreement. Move for him to authorize him to sign such document. I so move.
Second,
Vote,
yes.
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 Anything else, Beth?
I know that's it for me.
Civic Plus website was on the new business.
Yeah, like I just mentioned, I will have my information to you for the next meeting for the final reading of that. And if anyone has any questions about the information Luke provided at the last meeting, please let me know and I can incorporate.
What's the reason for this?
I'm sorry?
Reason for the Civic Plus redesign?
Well, number one, it gives, there are certain things that we would like to be able to do with the website that we can't. One was that
Such as,
Chief wanted to be able to have his police page look more like a police page. Luke, you want to go ahead and kind of remind everybody about some of
So
the,
here, I tell you what, I do want to be more prepared for the next meeting, so I mean, if we put it off. We did ask Luke to go ahead and run some numbers about the usage of the website.
Right.
And I think that's
Yeah,
important.
I sent those
Understand
to you, yeah.
that this website is being used by our, at least people out there, most likely our residents, as we can tell in most cases. And which pages are being used the most. And we can deduce from that why they're using them and if it's more customer friendly. But I think that, Mr. Chairman, if you're okay with this, I would rather Beth be able to be with us and be in better health condition, that her and Luke can give a full presentation on exactly what the purpose of this is. And perhaps the proposal can be trimmed down to focus on any specific things that we feel is a high priority.
okay,
So I'm quite a visual person. I mean, is it possible to include some ideas of here's what we'd like to do, what's different than,
On the,
did I miss that?
no, sorry, last week, in the Dropbox, I put, the templates that we can pick from, like the 5 standard basic templates, like the cheapest ones. It was a link to it on their website.
Okay,
Basically,
I'm sure I missed that
No,
then.
it's all right.
Okay,
but they're still in there, so you're welcome to check it.
okay.
There were 5 total. The main thing that, just briefly to mention, the main reason I was looking at it was because I'll bring up the, I can actually bring up the homepage for you on the big screen so you can take a look at what I was looking at.
Yeah, I guess I'm just, and I did see this actually, now that I'm clicked on the link, I guess I'm just trying to figure out what it is that we
Well, the first thing is that
want to do different.
layouts, how this is all organized is not something that we can change. I don't have the ability to do that. The most I was able to do was change what these buttons do. Like, say we want to change the colors, the background, or more importantly, I can't get rid of the slideshow, right? If I were visiting a township website, the first thing I would think the reason I'd be going there is I want to check on something like a meeting, a zoning hearing, I want to see the police events, that sort of stuff. That's all hidden down here. So we're calendars, what's in the news or what's on the calendar. I can't move this up and make it more accessible for people. The general issue I ran into is that I tried to make stuff more prominent and more helpful for people as they're visiting the website. I just cannot do that stuff or change it.
But going back to when we decided to go to Civic Plus and we were on this, they talked about the ease of us being able to do what we wanted to do. And that was one of the bigger selling points of the Civic Plus, was going with Civic Plus, is that, you know, every time we made a change on the old one, we had to go back and they weren't responsive and this, that, and the other thing. And then the reason why we were with Civic Plus is that the back end, we could change things, we could add things. There was just a lot more things that we could do. Is that not the case?
That would be for like content and stuff, which I do have full control over. So like some of the stuff I've done for Steve, right? I've worked with him and completely revamped all the content that's on his page. So we tried to make all the tabs make more logical sense. So I've created pretty much the bulk of all of these pages for him. But every single page you see is locked in this format where the tabs are over here, the buttons back to the home page over here. I added this image to act as like a banner.
And are we, I guess, I'm just, here's that, I'll just cut to the chase. I find with the inflation that we have, you know, everything we're asking for $6,000 to basically, and at the end of the story, it comes down to, are we getting complaints on our website that people can't find the information they want? And if that's not the case, then why are we doing it? You know, and I find every time I'm on the website, it was a far cry from what we used to be. I mean, I'm able to find everything, and, you know, being a resident, I'm always finding whatever I need when I need it.
That's
So,
what prompted the changes for us to have Luke do all this, was
Right.
because people say, I can't find these. So I will say it is much better now that Luke has added all the
right.
buttons and so forth. It gives all the information.
I mean, because I'm just looking at like police, your number 4, you know, it's like everybody's hitting the official website. You know, like, you know, if you look at it, you got 20% of total views. People aren't going past the front page. So obviously the front page is getting it, but and then, you know, people are only on our website for a minute and a half. So obviously they're finding stuff, and then the bounce rate is like huge. It's almost 40%. So half of the views that we're getting, people are, you know, that's just not what they wanted to see. So I guess at the end of the story, or at the end of the day, do we really need to spend $6,000 to do something that to me, it's working fine.
I'm sorry, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I will tell you that I would like to believe that I'm fairly able to, you know, find things on a computer screen. I would say sometimes it's not intuitive to me how things are set up, but I've used it so many times that I can usually get there. But that said, if I go to the templates that are there, I don't know what it is we're going to that's better. And that's what I'm
And
trying
that's,
to maybe understand as the follow-up conversation is, I can look at these pretty pictures, but they're still pictures. I mean, all of these templates, I don't know which one you're wanting to maybe consider or what's better to get us that bang for the buck.
The one that,
excuse me, Luke, do you mind if I cut in here for a second? I think we need
go
to
ahead.
know what Chet's suggestion was. Am I not on anymore?
No, you're.
No, you're on.
Okay, because my screen just went totally black. So in any case, I would love to have not had COVID for the past 12 days, but I did. So I have not been able to sit down and talk with Luke about it. It was just left on the agenda for discussion. But obviously hoping that I'd be able to get everything pulled together before this meeting. It didn't happen. So Luke and I will work when I come back, which will be tomorrow. I finally tested negative this afternoon. And we'll start working, putting together a presentation so y'all can kind of get a gist of, you know, what we're looking at now with our website, some options for maybe a refresh, and that sort of thing. But again, if you have any questions in the interim, please send them to me and Luke, and then we'll kind of start going through that and make sure we have all your answers at the next meeting.
Yeah. Right, anything else under administrator? Hey, Joe, are you on now?
am.
All right, we're gonna head back to you. Under the TIF and the TIF agreement update.
Yeah, the TIF agreement has been finalized. And the next steps are.
Hey, Joe, we can't hear you, so I'm just gonna, hey, Joe. Joe, you there? No.
You're calling.
Can you boot him and then we'll call him back?
Yeah, you sound like you're in a computer, some kind of computer or whatever. So, are you there?
Yeah.
Hopefully. The original.
fingers crossed.
Next steps are letters that need to go out to school boards, et cetera. And Rob was on vacation last week, so he didn't get those out to us, but he proposes that he and his assistant send those out and just get them in final form for us, our signatures, and send those out, and that starts the process. And once that's done, which we should have some from him in the next day or two, then those letters will go out, and that starts the process. But the final TIF agreement is in final form.
Okay.
So Joe, those letters are just what? I mean, this is a non-school TIF, right?
Correct. It's just notifying them that we're going to TIF these properties and explaining these are the rules by which we're moving forward on.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go into executive session to talk about the MOU Mount Carmel agreement. So Joe, can you hang for a little bit? All right. Anything, what's going to be fiscal I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Vote. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Make it fun. I move to go into executive action, or I move to go into executive session to conference township legal concerning disputes involving township that are subject